All right, so yesterday I did a video on the fourth quarter money race in the 2020 Democratic primary, and it was essentially the estimates. So there were no final numbers out yet, but there were estimates of what each of the major campaigns were going to raise for the fourth quarter. Well, now we have the number from the Bernie Sanders campaign, and they've not only hit their goal, they've smashed previous records, including Bernie's own record from 2015. So check this out. Dear friends, today I'm very proud to share with you some extraordinary news. Our campaign has received more than 5 million individual contributions. That is more contributions than any campaign has received at this point in a presidential election in the history of our country. So if you have been watching my videos, there's multiple videos I have of Bernie Sanders breaking his own record, because he's been breaking his own records throughout this entire campaign. These records that he set back in 2015 when he was breaking Barack Obama's 2008 records. So to give you the breakdown here, in the first quarter, Bernie Sanders raised 18.2 million. The second quarter, 18 million. The third quarter, 25.3 million. And the fourth quarter, the estimate is 28.5 million, which means roughly Bernie Sanders has raised $90 million for all of 2019. Now, to give you some context for this, here's reporting from CNN back in 2015 about what Sanders raised back in that year. Sanders' haul, which brings his 2015 total to 73 million, was almost exclusively buoyed by his prodigious online fundraising operation. Aides told CNN that Sanders received over 2.5 million donations in 2015 from 1 million different individuals. So here's the comparison. Back in 2015, when Bernie Sanders broke Obama's record, Bernie raised 73 million in 2015 compared to in 2019, Bernie raised 90 million. In 2015, it was from 2.5 million donations. In 2019, it's 5 million donations, doubling it. And in 2015, it was from 1 million individual donors. And this year, they haven't released the exact number, but it's roughly going to be, I think, around 1.6 million individual donors. So he smashed his own record from 2015 this year, or I should say last year. And like for anybody in the press, because you saw it early on in the campaign, less so now because they're a little more aware of how strong his campaign is. But early in 2019, the press at large was saying, oh, Bernie Sanders is not going to be able to get the same kind of support that he got back in 2016, because back in 2016, he was mostly a candidate to foil Hillary Clinton, and that's why people supported Bernie Sanders. Well, what's the excuse now? You have a giant, or at least had a giant field of Democratic candidates, and Bernie Sanders is raising even more money now from even more people than he did back in 2015 when it was a two-person race. This is the campaign that is going to last. Now, more on this from Common Dreams. Quote, against Trump, I believe we will have 50 million individual contributions at least, Sanders wrote. And at $27 apiece, that would be more than $1 billion. It's absolutely obscene and outrageous that an election would cost that much money. But our campaign has proven we will be able to raise more than enough money to win. The average donation to the Sanders campaign has been $18 so far. If that average continued into the fourth quarter of 2019, the New York Times reporter Shane Goldmacher estimated the Sanders campaign brought in $28.5 million in the last 3 months of the year. So this campaign has it. I mean, this is the grassroots support that you need in order to not even just win the Democratic nomination, but to defeat Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton in 2016, she lost to Trump because she did not bring out enough of the base. She didn't bring out young people, didn't bring out independents, didn't bring out typical non-voters. So this idea that you need a moderate to defeat Trump is just completely backwards. Hillary Clinton was the moderate and she lost. Her strategy was to reach out to conservative voters and try to win that way. Didn't work out because conservatives are loyal Republican voters. They are going to come out and vote for Trump regardless. For a Democrat to win, you have to bring out people that don't normally vote. Young people, independents, typical non-voters. This is the Bernie Sanders base. This is the movement. So you put someone that is a lifelong independent in Bernie Sanders on the ticket against Donald Trump. Bernie Sanders, a lifelong record, a 40-year record of fighting for people, of fighting for many of the same issues he's fighting for now, of showing this consistency and this fight and a campaign that is purely based on individual donations. No money from private fundraisers, no money from PACs, super PACs, none of that. No corporate money. All money raised from individuals, from real people. You have this campaign on the ballot against Donald Trump. Let's hope this is the future that we see for the end of this year.